besides like Mighty Morphin or something?
I really liked the Dino Charge. Yeah, that's the one with Coda, right?
Yeah.
I really like him. I was like, I want to be a caveman, fight and be a good person.
Yoshi's a good guy.
Yeah.
And what about you? Because I heard that Jackie said she liked RPM. I guess.
RPM was really. Oh, that was actually.
That was my
really
favorite as well. RPM, and I
Yeah.
watched Dino Charge and Ninja Steel.
I think RPM was like the most like. I think the acting was really grounded and really real.
I love the look of it, how it was filmed. It was a little darker. The sets.
Like post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
That red tint. I dug it too. It was like Mad Max almost.
Yeah.
There's a Green Ranger show.
Really, that's insane.
It is insane.
For
Insane.
real?
If there was a Green Ranger showing up, what would you want that Green Ranger's animal to be?
Oh, what would I want? What should if there was? If there was, let's think of the green animals out there. There's a frog.
There's a
What
frog.
to
There's a frog,
choose?
right?
There's chameleons.
Yeah, there's chameleons.
Help me out
Yes.
here.
How
to choose?
Hi, I'm Christina Ho. I play Betty on Beast Morphers.
Hi, I'm Abraham Rodriguez, aka Avy Baby, aka Nate Silva, aka the Gold Ranger on Beast Morphers.
And follow Cosmic Hi, I'm Christina Ho. I play Betty on Beast Morphers.
Hi, I'm Abraham Rodriguez, aka Avy Baby, aka Nate Silva, aka the Gold Ranger on Beast Morphers.
And you should follow Cosmic Protector.
On Patreon.
Hi, I'm Christina Ho, and I play Betty on Beast Morphers.
Hi, I'm Abraham Rodriguez, aka Avy Baby, aka the Gold Ranger. Oh, I already messed up my intro.
Hi, I'm Christina Ho, and I play Betty on Beast Morphers.
Hi, I'm Abraham Rodriguez, aka Avy Baby, aka Nate Silva, aka the Gold Ranger on Beast Morphers.
And you should follow Cosmic Protectors on Patreon!
Corey are going to be talking about I guess they're not officially out yet, but the most current episodes of Power Rangers Beast Morphers that released live. Thank you so much for joining us and taking your Saturday to tune in. I am Joe alongside who?
Oh, Jezer and Corey.
Josh Goldman's in my garage for some odd reason. He's probably doing laundry over there.
He didn't even
but
ask.
Yeah, this is what we're going to be talking about, guys.
Yeah, but before we start off, I just want to, on behalf of the whole team, want to thank everybody that tuned in on Saturday for that special stream. I got a little note here I got to read. Thank you to everyone who donated and participated in our very first charity stream for Color of Change. The organization designs campaigns powerful enough to end practices that unfairly hold Black people back and champion solutions that move us all forward until justice is real. You can find out more about the initiatives, which includes protecting voter rights and cutting down incarceration and consulting with execs in film and television and cut down harmful racial stereotypes. Our goal of only 500 was met, and we crushed it by 100%. And thank you to Courtney Sanchez, Anonymous 1, Nana, Larry Newbill, Anonymous 2, Gerardo, John Gatewood, Mikey Perez, Lily Anna, Leah, Raya, and Rowan, Edward Sanchez, Ryan Baker, Mrs. Liver King, Dr. D. Timberlake, Magnum Alpina, Anonymous 3, Janina, Suki Yuki 3, Kaylee, Anonymous 4, Rucky Shackleford, and hashtag incarcerate Trump. Also, thank you to the various members of the Illuminerdi that donated. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We already have 25 viewers on the stream. I think that was like our peak on Saturday, right? So if there's
our peak on Saturday was somewhere around like 33 or something.
Yeah, it was fun. We had Christopher came in, Lee, we had Azim and Brennan, and they we also had Allison. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We played some games and did some debates, so thank you guys all for checking that out. But we're gonna be talking about Beast Morphers today, right, you guys?
That's right, and we're not done with those charity streams. I mean, we're thinking about possibly doing more. They were a lot of fun for all of us. They were a lot of fun. But yes, Beast Morphers is kind of back. It's not back here for us in the United States, but it is back. And I mean, I'm happy that we're able to kind of review it early. It's kind of a hassle here in the United States, and most of the fans can relate that we have to either set a DVR for the show and watch it whenever, but it's very hard to catch it live.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit more convenient.
And it's crazy because next week the episodes are coming Monday through Friday, so that's 5 new episodes before next week. I don't know if we should break it up or if it's worth breaking them all up, but it's gonna be crazy. Earlier, or right before the stream started, I showed some little clips from some interviews we had with the Beast Morphers cast. One of them was them talking about their favorite season, and if you remember, Joe, you asked them what was their favorite season other than Beast Morphers and MMPR, and 3 out of the 7 of them said RPM, which kind of like comes full circle to the news that we got today. Or we broke the news a year ago. And then it comes.
You were saying we broke that news a year ago, almost like a solid year ago. That's crazy.
Yep, I think down to the week. I think it was that close, but finally come to fruition. So I mean, what do you always say at the beginning of the videos? Like, take it with a grain of salt, or do you say anything like that, or you just said nope? This is solid fact. This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, well, you mean for that one?
For any of the news that we put out for Power Ranger stuff.
I mean, that Power Ranger stuff is pretty accurate. I don't think. I mean, in terms of Power Rangers, we haven't been wrong yet. And I hate saying that. Keep saying that. Everybody already knows that. It's part of our fan base. But you know, I understand that a lot of people don't want spoilers. And I actually was reading Twitter about this not too long ago, where this actually over the last couple of days, where somebody had said that yeah, Joe was right, but it spoiled it for everybody. Here's the thing. Honestly, if I had the reins to Power Rangers, the one thing that I would like to do is let people know, like mainstream audiences, like run commercials throughout the week on your programming about certain episodes, because that way it gets other fans that may have seen it way back when RPM was on, or way back when Mighty Morphin was on, or Dino Charge or Dino Thunder. They'll be like, oh wow, like that's cool that they're bringing. I remember like this team. Oh, I kind of want to tune in and check that out. And that's how you grow your fan base back. That's how you keep it strong. That's what Doctor Who's been so successful at. That's what a lot of these shows go back and bring back these original cast members, because or older cast members, because fans love sticking to nostalgia. I mean, even in reality TV, they do it a lot. Like if you look at The Challenge or Real World or any of these kind of things, all they do is bring back old cast members because they're the most popular and they garner ratings. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it even CW does it too. I mean, bringing back the '90s Flash and incorporating him into the new Flash show as the dad, or bring Linda Carter. Huh?
You know what I mean? That like having Tom Welling come back for that cameo. Like, to me, honestly, I only watched that whole Crisis thing for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Tom Welling and Brandon Routh back as Superman.
Yep.
That just goes to show, like, at that, I didn't see much of any of the season prior to that or after that. I just wanted to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly what they should be doing.
Yep. Corey, how are you doing this weekend, bro?
Just chilling as usual.
I saw you've been doing some DIY work on your car. That's pretty cool, dude.
I did not do that myself.
Oh, I was about to say. That's why I was asking. How'd you do that? But all right, never mind. I'm not as impressed because you went to a professional. All right, I was gonna give you props. You could have just ran with it though. So.
I could have. I'm an honest person. I'm not a liar.
And Joe, you celebrated your birthday last weekend, huh? How was that?
Well, I mean, technically, I guess I kind of celebrated it with all you guys on a stream. Pretty much, it felt like. We had a big phone call. I remember we had a phone call on that Friday before the stream, which was my actual birthday, and you guys all sang happy birthday in a really shitty like all but it was fun, man. I just got back from Palm Springs, had a little vacation with Stephanie and the kids, so It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, let's get into this. You guys both watched the episode. What did you guys think of the tone of the last two episodes?
I'm
Oh,
sure
okay.
Corey wants.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, just in case anybody gets super offended about spoilers. I mean, I kind of comes with the territory. So yeah, yeah. What was your initial ideas with the theme?
Corey, you want to start? Because I know how much you love this season.
Ooh, Corey, here we go.
I have very few negatives. Honestly.
Very few negatives. What was your initial reaction for certain Easter eggs that you saw?
I emoted out loud. I was like, "Ah!" I was like, "Oh heck, I wasn't expecting that." You know.
Mm-hmm.
They came ass out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh man, look at that! Look who it is."
Do you guys think that they separated the mayor and Evox too quickly? Don't you think they should have dragged that out a little bit?
That whole story doesn't make sense at all because it's just solving itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like the mayor was Evox, but the Rangers never knew. So what was like the danger behind it? And then they didn't have any clues or hints like, "Oh, Mr. Mayor, you acting a little funny today." There was none of that at all. Yeah. And then he started like, "Oh, I'm losing power," and then he just freaking turned. He revealed himself, and it solved itself. And there's no point to doing any of that.
Do you guys feel like these two episodes kind of were better than the first half of the season?
Yes, I think this is you can almost tell that in Beast Morphers in general, that the team that was behind creating it really took a lot of effort into placing Easter eggs throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is what frightens me, is that it almost feels like a send-off to Power Rangers for all the people that were still a part of that resurgence and creative team of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel that Dino Fury, I think the Dino Fury is going to have a different kind of feel than this does, but I don't think in a good way.
Without going too into it, what do you mean?
I think that, I don't know. That's a little harsh to say. I don't want to say it not in a good way. I think it's going to have a different feel to it, but it's not, I don't think it's going to have as much care that Beast Morphers has had so far in order to set up the universe, in order to pay homage to the past. I don't think Dino Fury is going to be able to do that, because I think a lot of people that are going to be on that brand, on that show, aren't going to have familiarity with it and aren't going to care much about the fan base and what they want from it. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's a good chance that it may not be as great. Look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they prove me wrong. We'll see what happens, but we'll really start to see what happens with the casting process, I feel like.
Yeah. And when do you anticipate that will pick back up again? Some of the restrictions going on with COVID are kind of going down a little bit, but I'm assuming that they're still holding back a little bit.
New Zealand has 0 cases now. So,
but they don't cast in New Zealand. They just shoot in New Zealand. So,
no, but they can get back to work. They can test these kids and ship them out and get to work. No restrictions.
My guess is that once they get over to New Zealand, they're going to be spending a few weeks in quarantine in like a hotel or something before they let them back into society over in New Zealand. Just as a precaution.
Mm.
The casting process is going to still continue on, just the way it's been doing. I don't expect that to slow down very much. I will say, though, in regards to the new way protocols work with filming, that's not just going to be a Power Ranger thing anymore. I feel like that's going to be a standard thing, because all the Marvel shows are also doing the same thing, or to come back, is they have to have pretty harsh testing for when they start shooting again. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was initially going to put up some screen grabs from the show, but I saw a few channels on YouTube already getting flagged for them, so they're just gonna have to find the show. I think Power Rangers Australia has it, or there's some Facebook sites or Facebook links that have the episode, so you can understand what we're talking about. What what was your favorite moments of the first episode, episode 9, which was called Evok's Snare?
I mean, it's pretty. To me, it's the Dr. K's appearance. Like,
yeah.
I feel though that like that's such a great opportunity to open the world with RPM, because this is so. I feel like this has a lot of this has a little bit of the same feel that RPM has in terms of tone, or at least in terms of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much tone, but at least in terms of situation. But I like the callback. I like that we're getting rewarded for being long-term fans. Look, kids that are just watching Beast Morphers now, they're not going to know anything about these Easter eggs. But that's the beauty of Easter eggs, right? It's for us fans that are hardcore, into that stuff. I really like that a lot. I think that was pretty cool. And I see that Morphin Network is in the chat.
Yep.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ryan Weta.
For you guys that want to see what was actually in that Power Ranger vault that they had, another Power Ranger outlet, Heirloom, had put a little Easter egg breakdown of all of the things that they saw. It was pretty cool seeing everything in there. Like timeline wise, I don't know if some of it made sense that they were all in the same place, but maybe the new episode that they're gonna come out with, Grid Connection, maybe they're gonna do the same thing that they did with the Arrowverse, where they combined everything. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen in this episode? But there's a ton of cool things. They had the Mighty Morphin weapons. They had like the RPM Morphers. They had Dino Charge stuff. They had
These Delta Enforcer.
Yeah.
They had something from Turbo in there. The Zeo Blaster.
They had a Gosei Morpher. They had a ton of things. And if you weren't really looking, you weren't really paying attention to what was going on in the background, you would have missed it. And I think that was nice of them to. It's kind of a nod to the hardcore fans for them to see all that stuff, and that's a good sign that Power Rangers and Hasbro and what they're trying to do is try to keep everybody incorporated into the fandom. So that was pretty cool seeing all that stuff. That was awesome. What did you think, Corey? What were some Easter eggs that you saw in the background that maybe a few of us didn't see?
Wait a minute. Did the episode?
Corey, your internet's killing me, buddy.
Am I going slow?
Yeah, you're like.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's on right now.
Oh, I'm getting the episodes mixed up right now.
Episode 9 is Evox.
Oh, okay.
Evox and Dr. K.
Yeah, I mean, the Ranger vote was cool. I was kind of like, would a Ranger really let go of their Morpher, ever? So that kind of bothered me. And then I got over it. I was like, whatever.
Favorite Jason did, and then when he passed the torch to Rocky,
that's different. He was leaving. He gave up. All right, that's completely different. Just passing on some random Switzerland organization. All right, and he didn't go to Switzerland. That was a lie. He picked up a new Morpher. All right. We all know this.
You told me that's not canon, though. You told me.
No, I didn't. I did not.
You did. Yes, you did. You said there's a canon,
No.
there's a comic book universe, and there's a show universe, and they're not connected.
No.
Yeah,
no,
you
I
did.
did not say
Yes,
that.
you did.
I think I'm lying.
You think you're lying? Oh God, how can we trust you when you're saying things if you're just gonna go back on it? You're a freaking politician, man.
I'm not Donald Trump, all right? I don't lie.
Well,
like
you
that,
got the same tendencies as him right now.
No,
Come on.
don't.
You're holding on to the past, man. You know what makes Power Rangers great again.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, I do think that it was kind of cool that they did show us previews of the past. Look, guys, I almost feel that damn, do you ever sit back and think to yourselves
yes, myself.
2017, 2018, it's our year. Power Rangers on a resurgence. A new movie just came out. Hell, we got comic books flooded from wall to wall, and it's by a great creator named Kyle Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
It has to get better. It's gonna get better. This is it. Now, Power Rangers get the mainstream again. And then you wait and you get
nothing.
Ninja Steel.
Oh my God! Hey, you know they had a ton of Ninja Steel weapons in there too. A ton
But
of them.
look, for what it is, Ninja Steel, it's fine. But the thing is, like, that should have been the real big chance for them to. I think that would have had that 2017, 2018 era, instead of Ninja Steel being the next season. Had that have been this season of Beast Morphers,
Would have made more sense.
I think Power Rangers would have started that you know what I mean, that beeline straight towards the mainstream, because then it's like, oh wow, there is this lineage, there's this thing, and now more people are going to be aware of it. And I think that right now, here in 2020, I think that there's a timeline where that happened and the COVID didn't happen, so they're living fine. But it did happen, and I think that if honestly it were switched, I think that it would have made Ninja Steel a better season, just by following such a good season. I think that it would have really helped improve things a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I got a well, this is weird to me. Like, why would Hasbro go out the way to recreate all the costumes from Goldbuster to make Beast Morphers? You get what I mean?
Well, they didn't. So you gotta think that wasn't necessarily a Hasbro decision. That was more of a Chip Lynn decision. So Chip Lynn has stated in the past he's always wanted to do Beast Morphers his way. And I think that, granted to Chip Lynn, who knows? It's definitely a possibility he could have pitched Beast Morphers well before Dino Charge and Ninja Steel and kept getting turned down at every turn. And then finally he's like, you know what, it's going to be my last time kind of with the show. I'm kind of leaving the brand, so I just kind of want to do my thing, and this is the end of the era. At that point, Saban still had the say in which season it was going to be. Hence, Chip Lynn picks Beast Morphers. You have to assume there's meetings between Chip Lynn, Saban, and Hasbro, and henceforth we get Beast Morphers. Especially imagine Chip Lynn being there, and with Jason Bischoff being like, fans are gonna love it. You're gonna hit right out of the gate. That's exactly what they did. We got very hyped because we thought to ourselves, hey, this is Hasbro. They're doing something completely new. And they did. They took a season that happened years ago and adapted that. And we all were like, whoa, they're going to change the game. And then we even in the first initial trailer, we're like, oh shit, this is crazy. And then that we knew that Jason's coming back, you knew they were moving in a different direction. It just so happened that Beast Morphers came about 2 years too late.
Yeah.
For the brand.
Yeah, I think if they were to let Chip Lynn it's kind of like what? It's kind of like the Snyder Cut a little bit. If Chip Lynn was able to have his story go the way he wanted to, it may have made a little bit more sense. I think it's a little disconnected right now. And who knows? Maybe Dino Fury will put it back on track. I don't know. Maybe it'll derail the whole thing.
He's not the executive producer for Dino Fury.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what I'm saying is like maybe the same way with DC, like Wonder Woman put it back on track. Maybe a certain one season will put it back on track and then keep the momentum going. But from if you're watching from like Dino Charge and then coming up to here, you're gonna see that it felt a little derailed. It felt a little disconnected from the previous seasons before. And I mean, look, from these two episodes, I a little bit more optimistic because the tonal change and the storylines that they're going. There's one scene in particular that I felt like. It was pretty good, decent acting for Power Rangers. The altercation that Nate and Devin had, where Devin was solely like focused on getting his dad, and not really understanding that Nate is doing everything he could to separate Evox and the mayor. Just stuff like that. We didn't see anything like that on Ninja Steel. Like no episodes of that caliber of like storytelling or character development. And maybe this is the tonal change for the next half of this season will be better. Who knows? I mean, second half of Dino Charge was terrible. What if this is the opposite? Second half of Beast Morphers is going to be amazing. Who knows? I mean, we're leading up to something. So
But do you think the second half of Dino Charge was really terrible, or do you think that it's more so the finale let you down and it left a bad taste in people's mouths?
The last part of Dino Charge was just like, what's going on? Because it started strong, and you had all these expectations, and then it just, you can't see my hand, but it just kind of flatlined, you know?
I feel that, like, I was fine with the second season of Dino Charge. Thought it was perfectly fine. I just think that the finale kind of left me with a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Other than that, though, I don't think it was a bad season overall. I mean, I think that, like, if we're giving it a grade, I would consider it a solid, like, B.
Yeah, I mean, because Dino Charge, when it came out when the first season was there, before Super Dino Charge, it came out, felt like it came out strong. This time around, it kind of just felt a little, like, the second half felt a little bit weaker, like it felt rushed. And I felt like there are a lot of storylines that they didn't, for some reason, they couldn't continue on, because I felt like they were leading with something with the dark Dino Gem and Heckle. That you could definitely tell they wanted to do something with it. There's a blockade or some kind of, like, thing that they came up across that stopped them from doing it.
I also feel that, like, in Ninja Steel had the adverse effect, where I feel that, like, it started off very weak and very slow, but I actually think, like, the way that it finished, especially in season 2, was pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that was like a big deal. I think that was pretty cool. I mean, I was fine with that.
What other things did you enjoy about the episode, Corey?
So am I echoing?
Huh?
I'm echoing. Am I echoing?
You are echoing.
Try now.
Am I better now?
Yeah, you're good now. I think you're fine. Go
Okay.
ahead.
That's it really. I had most of my rest of my thoughts are in the next episode.
Okay, because
it was just, you know what? I do not like Blaze and Roxy.
Why is that? They're underutilized in this episode, or what?
No, it's like, okay, why them? What's so special about them? Why Evox needs to use them all the time, for one, and two, they're robots that get destroyed, and then they bring them back, and then they fuck up again, and they keep doing that. I don't understand that at all.
Oh, you just need that. I don't know. You paid the two actors for a certain amount of episodes. You have to find a way to utilize them. You had to find a way to utilize some of the other suits. You're trying to rationalize. You're trying to rationalize the Power Rangers.
Have them be the humans, and then put Blaze and Roxy in Grid Battle Force like they're supposed to.
Well, you're
okay. So that's a great. You pose a really good question, Corey. So if let's put the story in your hands now. What do you do with Blaze and Roxy?
Let's hear it.
Well, first off, I would have had them. Well, no, they can't reassume their power, could they?
No.
I would have wrote something like that.
No.
Where they would have took up the team, and they would have been Rangers for a little bit, and realized the team dynamic was a little bit weird.
So that episode from I felt like there was a few episodes like that, Lost Galaxy or something.
Episode like that or something, right?
Yeah.
That's been done before. I would have done something like that, and then they say, hey, you guys are better off as the Rangers, and then I would have gave them a role with, so they pop up every once in a while, instead of them being these lame villains that don't do anything.
Look how that worked out for Billy on Power Rangers Zeo.
Hey, time out. So you what you're saying is that you don't like that they're villains that pop up every once in a while. You want them as good guys that pop up every once in a while.
I mean, it makes
the
more
same
sense.
thing. They're still getting the same airtime.
Them constantly failing all the time. You get what I mean?
Well,
they're not doing anything. They show up and they mess up. They die. They die. So and then they come back to life.
What I would have done is a little bit different. I think that what I would have tried to have done is to have, at the end of season 1, I would have had them restored back and be with Grid Battle Force again. And I think with what I would have done with season 2 is that you would have an episode, and probably the first episode of the season, where they're back and it's awkward for all the Rangers because Devin and Zoe know that they're not supposed to be there and supposed to be Blaze and Roxy. But then they come to realize, well, no, this is really meant for you. This is what was supposed to happen. So then they realize, well, you know what? There's a bigger threat that's looming, blah, 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 plot point, whatever. But we got to figure out how to turn your dad back, whatever. I would have had Blaze and Roxy be the ones jumping to try to find some of the other Rangers and be the real creative force of recruiting some of the Dino Rangers throughout episodes to bring them together for a bigger episode, which would be our crossover. So because
they're around, but then they're not, like the how they did Titanium Ranger. There's no footage for him, but he's still around.
Have them like recruit, like, okay, so you have the Dino Charge. Or first we started with RPM. I would have them have gotten the information from Dr. K and have found Dr. K, and like their whole B storyline would be, okay, they're going around different generations of Power Rangers and bringing them all together.
Yeah. I mean, something for them to do. Who knows? Roxy could have just been working at Grid Battle Force. What if they had Blaze still have his Blaze suit, and have him as a Dark Buster fighting alongside? Who knows? They could have done some fun things with that. But they're already having a hard time developing the characters that they do have on the current squad. So, I mean, has Ravi ever gotten how long has it been since Ravi had his own Ravi centric episode?
I can't. I only remember is the one where it was that like Valentine's Day one or something.
Or the painting one where he's an artist or something.
That's that's the only one I can really remember from him. And even watching this back now, I feel like he's so underutilized.
Mm-hmm. Everyone is so underutilized. I mean, Steel is just there, just standing around. No one I think that's the problem. Like, there's too many characters for Saban / Hasbro to work with, and they don't really have a good grasp on it. And it's not like this is a large amount of characters that any other show with this many characters would have ran with it. I mean, look at Legends of Tomorrow. They find a way to incorporate everybody into whatever storyline they got going, and with this, you only have at the most 10 characters. You can't run with 10 characters. There's crazy amounts of shows that can run with 10 characters. So that could also be a reason why we're not going to go see, or we're not going to see Q Ranger or anything like that, because they're just going to, at the current state that Power Rangers is in right now, they're going to run that shit into the ground, and it's not going to be good, and people are just going to hate it. So, I mean, everybody that's been, as soon as we released the news about Ryu Soldier being the next one, you guys are lying, it's going to be Q Ranger, it only makes sense, it's going to be Q Ranger. Now with how the climate of the character development is for the show, I think that you guys are totally wrong, and it'd be a disaster, and I'm glad that they're not doing Q Ranger next.
Yeah, and you got to think too, Q Ranger's a great example of how they wouldn't be able to handle it, because they barely look, the minimal amount of actors they have to pay, the better it is for them. You really think they're going to want to pay just 12 Rangers that have to be there together for the most part all the time, and then plus villains? I don't think that's going to fly. No. And especially a cast that large, they're not bringing. Not only are they paying them salaries, they're paying for them to stay somewhere. There's no, and flying them around. It's not going to happen.
If they're in New Zealand, I bet you majority of that 12-man team is going to be New Zealand actors. 100%.
100%.
It's just cheaper, and they don't have to pay for lodging for them, and it's just way cheaper. So it'll be a bunch of New Zealanders suiting up. So I'm happy that it's not Q Ranger. Did you guys want to move on to the next episode? You got anything else that you...
I mean, look, I think the highlight from this episode is that they are paying homage to the past. I think this is such a brilliant way to do it. I think that having Dr. K do her role again is amazing, because who would have ever thought that they would have gotten her back? Though?
She was looking pretty good, though.
Yeah. I feel like, she's I would love to see her come back more frequently. I think that was awesome. We also got the Ranger Vault. I think that's something that that was almost like exploring the Batcave, right?
Yeah.
Longtime fans love that. I love that as well. Again, this episode was great for a couple reasons. Number one, it got to pay homage to the past, but it also advanced the plot forward for for everything else that's going on in the season. I thought that was brilliant. I thought they did a really good job.
If you think about this episode could have easily been a clip show. Like they could have,
exactly right.
They could have.
I thought there was going. I was about to turn it off if it was going to be.
Well, listen, because they could have easily dropped the whole like the ice arrow thing and dropped the whole whatever everybody else is doing on the side and just have it be Devin and Betty and Benny looking through the vault. It's like, oh, this is the Gosei Morpher, and they use this, and these Power Rangers use this. It could have easily been that, but they took a chance and they tried to build a whole episode around this whole thing. And I think that, honestly, we got 2 more episodes leading up to the Grid Connection episode. We got Greater Good and Finders Keepers. I think these 2 episodes are also going to incorporate a lot of, like, I think in one of these episodes we're going to see Jason, and we're going to be totally surprised by it. In the videos that I showed before the stream started, Christina and Abraham said that every day, like in this second season, they said every day that they got the script, they were surprised in what was going on. So I think these next 10 episodes are we're all just gonna be like, oh shit, there's gonna be a bunch of oh shit moments. And I think that like the crossover in the previous season where we had Coda, Gemma, and Wes come back, like show up, I think we're going to have little Easter eggs like that sprinkled through these 2 episodes leading up to Grid Connection, just so we get our fill as far as the crossover stuff that we've been wanting for the past months. What do you guys think?
What are the chances that one of the episodes is more of a Dino Charge episode than it is a Beast Morphers episode?
Oh, you mean the Grid Connection?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It's a Dino Charge episode, 100%. It's going to be like a fish out of water story, and they're going to be in, the Beast Morphers universe, like, what's going on here? And then little sprinkles. We already saw that through the Super Sentai, so it'll feel a little weird, but it'll be nice to see that team come back.
Can't wait. I mean, look, guys in the chat, you guys spending your Saturday with us, Jose, Blur, Blackwing, Morphin Network, what do you guys rate this episode? What do you guys rate? I'm going to give this a solid 5.
I'll give it a 5. Compared to the last few episodes, I'll give it a 5. I liked it. Corey? All right, not gonna talk. All right, cool. 4. Just because some of the little hiccups with the utilization of some characters.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that pass. I'm not gonna let them try to blind me with nostalgia. Right? I can do that on my own.
Yeah, you do that. You do that all the time. Look at your shirt and look at your background. You're running with nostalgia, man. You are nostalgia's freaking poster boy.
He blinds himself with nostalgia. Let's move on to our next episode because I actually really like this one too.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. Corey has a lot to say about it. We'll let you lead this one. What do you think of the episode?
Mr. Captain Chaku. I was hyped when I seen Govern. I was like, oh, it's Govern. But his name comes from his henshin call, Sho Chaku. And I was down with it, but then I'm like, why couldn't this have been the Phantom Ranger? Why do we have this random?
Yeah, well, last season we had a space sheriff too?
Yeah, he wasn't a space sheriff, but he was a meta hero. It was Jiraiya.
Yeah, his name in the show was Space Sheriff Gavin.
Oh, was
he was Sheriff Skyfire.
Skyfire, Space Sheriff Skyfire, yeah.
Gavin is for this one. This was around the time the Gavin movie was out in Japan.
I don't know. I don't. These episodes just feel very out of place for me, and
yeah, I have no problem with the character because, like I said, I like Gavin.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of Easter eggs in his origin. Like what was it? G Special Force Galaxy Police or something like that.
Yeah.
He's Gavin Type G.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, this could have been. You still could have used the Rhino monster, or whatever, but this could have been the Phantom Ranger.
Could have been. It could have been.
Phantom Ranger.
I think it could have been. I think that I'm happy that it wasn't, though. I'm kind of happy that they're kind of expanding the universe because this is our second time seeing a galactic police officer. Actually, if you count Blue Centurion, I guess.
This felt like a
third
Blue
time.
Centurion episode. This felt
Right.
like the
But it's just like, what's the point of expanding it? Because we're not gonna get this fool again. We all know it.
Hey man, you never know because I think a lot of people would have said that about Dr. K too.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But
here
Dr.
we
K
are.
was in the whole series, but I mean, you took a character from a show, a completely different show, just because it was in a crossover episode and used it. You know, when you could have brought somebody back from before.
I think you could have, but then I don't know. I feel like that opens more cans of worms because then there's more pressure to want to reveal the Phantom Ranger. And then if they don't, you know what I mean? If they don't have that, they're not ready for that, then that's not a thing that they're going to do. I do think, though, that this did feel very Blue Centurion type of episode to me. I felt that it was like, I think the pacing of this episode was really good, but I also think the thing that I liked a lot, probably more so than anything else, was that I think the voice acting was on par. I
Oh
think
yeah, Rydor.
episode-
What's the guy's name? Rygor. Or
the
something?
Raija?
Yeah.
Whatever the Rhino guy's name was, hit like I want to hear like the one thing I love about Super Sentai is that all the villains sound menacing.
Yeah.
And this dude sounded like I was like, all right, like I can get into this because it feels more menacing. It feels darker. It feels stronger.
I'm
It kind of reminds me of Kano.
Huh?
Kano from Mortal Kombat.
I'm gonna kill you now. I'm gonna kill
Yeah,
you.
I dug it though. I dug it. I really thought the voice like it wasn't campy.
Yeah, and I mean, something that he said right as he introduced the putties and was it the Vivix? Was it? He said that he was going around looking for something. What if he's actually the one that's rounding up everybody? What if he's rounding up all the villains and gonna bring them to Grid Connection? Or someone is bringing them all together. I think these next few episodes, it's gonna build towards another episode. It's not gonna be one-offs, which would be amazing if it was like continuous, even past.
If I were controlling the season, like I said, what I would have done is plant the seeds early about going and exploring different Ranger teams and different things to lead us to the finale. And I would have had the finale be the team up, the big Dino team up. And I think I would have ended the episode with whoever the new Red Ranger is picking up the sword for the next season.
Yeah.
And then that's like, okay, shit, like, okay, now I'm all about it. So I would have essentially cast the new Red Ranger at the end of the season of Beast Morphers.
But realistically, they didn't, right?
They didn't.
It could be a figure, in the shadows, just picking it up.
Actually, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. So if you noticed that we wrote an article on our website about the new season of Power Rangers, Dino Fury, and we released casting breakdowns for what they're looking for. If you notice the casting breakdowns we released, they're only looking for a Green Ranger and a Pink Ranger. They're not looking for all the other Rangers because I think the Red Ranger is already cast, and I actually think they are going to reveal it in that. I'm totally kidding.
I was like, I didn't read that. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
About the putties. This is the first time that we're seeing golems in American footage, because most of the times we had the rubber face putties. But these are this is the first time we're seeing the Jew Ranger putties that they use in Japan. So I was kind of like,
why do you think they skipped out on using those faces versus when they brought it to MMP?
Whatever process they were using to recreate the costumes, because all that is part of the.
You know what? I think for the next Power Morphicon, all of the Illuminerdi should just go as putties. All of us. Wouldn't that be funny? That'd be freaking hilarious. Everybody's just going around as putties. And, just like we'll make the little the ball fist thing. Just start bonking people on the head and running around like a bunch of idiots. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. That's just me though. Yeah, and then the Vivix. I think it'd be cool if instead of that Rhino character, it would have been like what was the guy's name? That Goldar, the Snide character you know, them just showing up. You know the new Goldar?
I thought the homeboy, when he was Gold, I thought this was going to come up with some lame reason for him to turn to Goldar.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why they changed the color of his suit. Well, I mean, other than that, other than them introducing Gavin, for me, I didn't. Out of the 2 episodes, this one was my least favorite of the 2 episodes because it was kind of like it's like a one-off. It didn't really have anything to have anything connected to the main timeline of the series. But it was fun.
It's just like what does Chaku have to? I mean, he's just a cop chasing this villain, but it's such a thin connection. When you could have used a stronger connection. You could even freaking brought back Blue Centurion if you wanted to, you know?
Yeah, but
or connected him to SPD. Like he could, if he would have said he was from SPD, then I would have been like, okay, cool.
Well, listen,
Because
they had the thing.
and
Go ahead.
Doggy Kruger are homeboys. They could have done that, made that connection in America.
Well, but in the last episode, you saw they went through a little history breakdown of the Power Rangers, so you know that they know the history of Power Rangers. If Blue Centurion or Phantom Ranger showed up, they wouldn't have wrongfully arrested him. You know?
Yeah, I thought that. They always, it's like they know, I know they know, but then they never use it. They always do this.
Who's they?
Them. The suits.
Oh.
People upstairs.
Oh, the powers that be.
Powers that be.
Yeah.
I've been watching this shit for almost 30 years, man. I'm not surprised by any decisions they make at all.
Well, maybe you should be on the board, Corey. Instead of, having always criticized, why don't you try to get on the board, bro, or be on the story, making the story for the comics, and then you can stop complaining about it, right?
I tried to intern for Saban back when I was in school, man, and this was around the time where they were dissolving. And I tried really hard to get in,
Oh, really?
It didn't work.
They're probably like, man, who is this guy? Speaking on like new heads over at Power Rangers, a few days ago they came out with this news that Michael Lombardo, who is a consultant for E1, is going to be the head of Global TV and head of Power Rangers going forward. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know who he is.
I have a comment about that. I think that I know that's not widespread news because it's not. It's not a sexy headline. I think it's if you notice that he's the head of E1's Global TV. I think that it's interesting wording that they said he's looking for more Power Ranger content. More on that in the coming week. I think he's gonna have to figure out a lot of things real quick.
He's a ex HBO boss. He used to be part of HBO.
Well, if you look too, he was a creative director for E1. He was an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Former HBO president of programming. That sounds pretty important. And for HBO.
I mean, it does.
And for HBO.
It does.
And then
we'll see.
And then to be like downgraded to Power Rangers or to Hasbro, whatever they're putting together. I was like, bro, HBO was like, you guys
I'll mess it up just out of spite.
I'm gonna make the Game of Thrones finale and gonna add that to Power Rangers and end all be all for the Power Rangers show.
I mean, it's an interesting move because excuse me, because if I think he's more so brought in to he's going to have to figure out where Power Rangers is going to go next. Is it going to stay on Nickelodeon, or could it go on HBO? Mainly because Sesame Street's on HBO. True. And if they're trying to build up HBO family programming, Power Rangers would be a good way to do that. I don't necessarily know that that's the case, but it could open those doors. I mean, we've talked about this all the time. Netflix also is a great landing spot for Power Rangers. Hulu would be great. We're gonna have to wait and see kind of how this plays out a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how the season ends. If we see how Beast Morphers ends, we'll see. It'll be a good indicator to see how they're gonna continue on with the Dino Fury and what the new direction is. What do you guys think of them like making their own series and not picking off after Dino Fury, like making their own suits, making their own individual Power Rangers. Could they do that?
Yeah,
They can do that.
I think that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have that. Cause I'm tired of seeing Super Sentai become Power Rangers because they're not doing anything with it,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just better that they just do what they want, how they want, with with the resources they make,
Hey, chat, what did you guys think of that Gavin episode, and what do you guys expect to see in the next few episodes coming next week? I'm excited. Do you feel like we're cheating ourselves a little bit by watching the episodes before it releases in America?
No.
They got to get better just releasing them all at the same time.
Yeah.
Not the same exact time, but at least the same day.
I bet you the UK is like, why do you guys have this weird hiatus? You already have the footage here. You guys are just burning time right now. You could put some other stupid Nickelodeon show going after you guys come back from hiatus, Another
Like how are the foreigners watching our show before us?
Huh?
America. This is American show. How are they watching our show before we seeing it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. The British are coming. They get the clips before us. Look, I'm excited to see more connections to the previous seasons. I think that would be fun for them to do. But if we didn't have this Dino crossover, you think that this season can stand on its own? If it didn't have that connection.
Now that's the question you should. That's a great question. That's a really good question. I don't know. Do I think the season could stand on its own? I kind of think so. I'd like to think so. I don't know though, because I got to see how the rest of the story plays out and how pivotal these former past Rangers are to the overarching theme of the second season. If they're using all these past Rangers as almost as a crutch, then I would say no. But it seems like they're forging forward with their own story, which makes me say yes. I think it can stand on its own.
Yeah, if you're to put that same question to a lot of the previous seasons, do you especially last season Ninja Storm? If Ninja Storm didn't have that crossover,
Ninja Steel.
Ninja Steel didn't have that crossover. Do you think it would have been even more of a mess than it was?
Yeah, 100%.
It was barely good.
I absolutely think that. I think in theory, Ninja Storm. If you take Ninja Storm for as simple of a premise as it is, I think you can do a lot of cool things with it. I just don't think they did that. I think the theory of how they tried to get there was the wrong way to do it. But I think they had a good premise, but I just don't think they executed it well.
Yeah.
They're good actors also, but I don't think they executed the premise properly.
Honestly, I kind of wish that they didn't continue with this hiatus system, because I feel like it's definitely messing up the momentum of the series, and for people that are able to watch, I'm not endorsing this, but people that are able to watch the series on whatever platform you can find it, I say do it. Keep that momentum going for the series, because this hiatus is just like if you're gonna do a hiatus. If they weren't releasing this episodes early in the UK, and we're gonna come back from a hiatus, and they were following the same formula, 5 episodes leading up to the grid connection, I feel like it wouldn't be a big enough build-up. You know what I mean? I felt like you said, they should have added the grid connection towards the end of the series, so that we build up to this pivotal moment in Power Ranger history, versus coming off of hiatus and then having like 5 small episodes before it. I feel like it'll make it feel like a dud. You know what I mean? Like it'll just
I feel that, like, even with us talking about it though, with the exception of Corey, I think that like it. No, I mean, like we're just really nitpicking right now at things that we think could have been done better. But overall, though, I do think it is a good season. Like I don't think this is a terrible season whatsoever. I think that there's certain things that maybe could have been better, but I don't think it's a bad season. We'll just say
Yeah,
that.
it's not. It's better than Ninja. Ninja Still is like unwatchable for me. Like I wouldn't go back and watch Ninja Still for anything, but I would go back and watch some episodes of Beast Morphers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, one thing. Have you noticed that they never call them Beast Morpher Rangers in the show? They always refer to them as Grid Battle Force.
Yeah.
What do you? So
I actually
like,
never noticed that until you said that right now.
Yeah.
what what
It,
is?
it,
What do you mean
it
by
was
that?
like the Grid Battle Force Rangers. I was like,
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy because I remember the Power Rangers in Space Toys. They never referred to them as the Space Rangers. It was the Astro Rangers.
Yeah. They were always just the Power Rangers in the show until Lost Galaxy. Then they were Space Rangers in Lost Galaxy.
Maybe it's because with I think the whole Grid Battle Force thing is, they wanted to use the GB, and they couldn't figure out a way to properly use the name. If that was the case, then why even call it Beast Morphers? Why not make it something GB so that they can call
They
it
could
that?
have called the Power Rangers Grid Battle Force.
Yeah, Grid Battle Force or Grid. What would be a good noun for with a B? I don't know.
I mean, like the one that when we were thinking about adapting this way back when was we were gonna do Grid Breakers.
Grid Breakers, yeah, or Grid Brigade or something. I don't know. Something they could have used it, and I think that's why they're trying to not use Beast Morphers so much. But it is what it is. What do you think they're gonna call the Dino Fury team? Just Dino Rangers?
The Dino, yeah.
No,
I think it'll be like the Dino Fury Rangers, because like they have the Dino Charge Rangers, the Dino Thunder Rangers. It'll be the Dino Fury Rangers.
Oh man, they're so creative, man.
Dino Rangers.
Yeah, they're so creative. They're so creative.
Guys, listen. The future of Power Rangers is, I would say right now, I would say it's questionable, but right now I enjoy the stuff that I'm getting. I like it.
Mm-hmm. And next week we'll talk. What do you think? You think we'll break it down episode by episode, or do you want to just do the whole 5 episodes? Actually, I think since Grid Connection's coming out on Wednesday, I think we have one episode just dedicated to that. That's gonna be a lot to.
Yeah. So should we go 2, 1, 2?
Okay. So. Ooh. Well, listen, because look, if everyone's gonna see it by Wednesday, right? I feel like everybody's gonna be want to talk about it by then.
Okay, so then how about this? I'll put a little challenge to you guys. See if it's even possible if we do this. What if we did Ranger wrap-ups Monday through Friday, just shorter, so we don't have to do the whole weekend?
Ooh, and then maybe we can skip the weekend for that week.
Exactly right. By the way, Heirloom, I watched his video. Amazing job. I know he's in the chat right now. Amazing job on the 27/28 things or hidden Easter eggs in episode 9 of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. If you want to go catch those Easter eggs, I highly recommend watching his video.
Yep.
He did a great job at finding a lot of things. So it was just fun to follow along with that video too.
Yeah, dude, it must have taken a long time to just really analyze, the dark sides of the shelves and find out which things are. There's one thing that I don't, Erlen, maybe you can enlighten me. The green thing that was in the back. You said it was something like a frog thing. So is that a little Easter egg for maybe the green Beast Morpher Ranger showing up?
He says that in the video that more on that later. He thinks it's a possibility that they could use it. So, you never know. I think, and he even states that I think in the video he says he thinks it's possible for a one-off, which is the same thing we thought as well.
Well, at the beginning at the beginning of the stream when I was showing the videos with you interviewing Abe and Christina, do you remember you asking them about Christina possibly being a Green Ranger and how when they're trying to answer they're just smiling and just their body language was it really felt like Marvel's trying. I can't say anything because Marvel's gonna kill me. I can't say anything or Hasbro's gonna kill me. You know what I mean? It felt like that type of situation.
Yeah, I don't. Do you remember that interview with her? Because I think I even said maybe it was off air. Where I was jokingly said oh, it's cool that you're back as your
No,
like the Green Ranger
it might.
or
I think it
something.
might have been on screen, and then they both looked at each other and just like laughing and smiling, like, "Oh God, yeah, maybe," like trying to play coy, Heirloom says, "Oh, it's the E-Tank thing. Yeah, it's the Green Ranger from the film. I think. Let me go through these episodes. Fossil Frenzy. I think that we're actually gonna get this episode. I do think we're gonna get.
The Green Ranger a hippo in Go Buster?
Yeah, he was a hippo. But I think we're gonna get something. We're gonna get
They
something.
had a frog Zord in the Go Buster movie.
Yeah. Dude, like, Erlen, after the stream is over, check out the interview at the very beginning. It definitely calls for something. I'm looking through the episode titles. I don't see anything right now, but I have to go back and look at the movie and see if there's anything that connects to any of these titles.
So here's a fun little story for you guys. So earlier this week, Toku Chris, we and him were like DMing on Twitter, and because he gave me a yellow Trini figure from the Lightning Collection, and
that's cool.
And he was asking if it got there, and it did. But he was talking. We were just talking about Power Ranger stuff, and he was like, "Oh, here's the episode list with a synopsis," and I was like, "Okay, cool." So I checked it out, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I glanced over it because I wasn't in LA. I glanced over it, looked at it, and I was like, and I remember even thinking clearly, okay, the team up's here, it explains it, and I remember thinking, just glancing over it, oh shit, Dr. K's not mentioned in any of this. Was I wrong? and then for some reason I knew I wasn't, but I was like, that's so weird why would they take her out? All this was processing through my head, and then luckily I think it was Jezer that was like, oh, she's in an episode, she's in an episode of, or I have the episode or something, and I was like, oh, thank God.
No, it was the person that that messaged us was Toku Chris, said, "Hey, Illuminerdi was right," and then that's all he put, and I was like, what is he talking about? Like, what is he talking about? What were we right about? And then Toku Kid texted me, because Toku Kid is like quick. He's quick to, like, if something comes up, oh, I need to tell you so that you know. So he was like, yeah, Dr. K was in the episode. I was like, really? Where can I watch this episode? And I was looking and looking, and luckily, I think the Power Rangers, the other website, Power Rangers, had posted little clips from it, and I was like, oh, perfect. It's like finally comes to fruition, just like the San Diego Comic-Con moment. Man, I love these moments.
That's right. That was a year ago. That was over a year ago we made that, and we put that out there.
I love when the news finally comes to fruition and we just get to celebrate it, and it's like, oh, you know what?
So wait, cool. Guys, are we? Because here's the thing. Honestly, I'm excited about what these new episodes coming out. Or do we want to do Monday through Friday and either take the weekend?
I don't know, Corey. What do you think?
I'm busy during the week.
Okay.
So
all right. So then we'll do the 2 episodes before and Grid Connection combined together, because I'm pretty sure that they're all going to be somewhat connected. Pretty sure.
Okay, why don't we do this? Why don't we do the 2 episodes before? Why don't we do like an extra long Ranger wrap up next Saturday? So we'll start at like
5 o'clock.
I don't know.
5.
We'll start earlier.
Yeah.
And we'll do 1 episode. We'll end that stream and then go and do another stream right after the fact, because we'll have the audience with us to just jump right over to the next one.
Yes. We'll talk about it, and we'll keep you guys updated on our
And
page.
I got another idea. Since that would be our big kind of like team up episode, why don't we do our own team up episode and invite Heirloom and Toku Chris and maybe a few others in the community?
Ooh, that sounds like a good one. I like it. Let's reach out.
Our own little
Heirloom, you down, bro? And they get Toku Chris. Who else you want? Who else you want to?
Whoever else wants to join in.
It'll be like the end game thing, the end game entrance. That'd be crazy.
That way we can do that episode as like a mega episode that could last, a little bit longer, because I'm sure that we're all gonna want to talk about it, get our opinions out there, and hell, maybe even do call-ins. Who knows? Maybe on that one where all of us can kind of chime in.
Or maybe we are also another few people we can get in on the stream is people that were there. I don't know if I definitely know.
I don't know if they're allowed to talk about
Well,
it yet.
maybe not the main cast, but other people that were on the episode that aren't technically under contract anymore.
Oh, you're playing with fire, man.
Am I? Oh, damn! I wish I could play with fire. I love playing with fire.
We can. I'll put some feelers out there, but I would love to have Toku Chris. You know what? Maybe Ryan Buetta join in on us on that one. I think Morphin Network would want to have fun with that one. I think there was a lot. We could do our own up here.
Heirloom we are in Pacific time, so we're in California. So, do with that what you may. We'll figure out all that. Yeah, dude, that would sound so amazing. I'd be really cool to just get everybody in on it and just hearing everybody's reaction.
Yeah, that would be a big Power Ranger, like either Skype or Zoom call that we almost kind of like what we did last Saturday, except with the Ranger community.
Ooh, yes, that'd be really good.
Maybe we get Ranger Liz in there. We could get a few others. I think that this would be a big fun one.
Yeah. So Saturday. I want to say Saturday, 5:00.
Sounds good. That'll be our initial first 2 episodes, and then we'll do the big episode together. I'll try to reach out to a few, maybe like Ranger Command Power Hour in there, and just a lot of us.
Nicolas Cage is coming.
Huh?
Nicolas Cage is coming.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
yes.
That'd be so dope. That'd be really cool. All right. I mean, that seems like a good ending point for you guys. Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me everywhere at Joe Illuminerdi, and find me at theilluminerdi.com, where we're reporting the latest news. I'm planning on keep teasing this big Power Ranger story, but I've been holding off because it is big.
It's big.
So we are holding off on that a little bit, but hopefully within the next week, that will be up. And I'm really excited about next week's episodes now. That if we do this big mega one, I think that can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be super awesome. Corey?
C. Gibson Rex, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter.
And then your other Instagram, big MMPR lover, 457.
MMPR lover 93.
People are gonna be looking for that one right now too, and he's gonna get a bunch of followers. He's not gonna know why. You're not Corey. You can find me on all social media at JezzerZeus. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I always say on Saturdays, thank you for joining us on your Saturday. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us, and we truly appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that was on the stream on Saturday for that charity stream. We definitely want to keep doing more of those going forward. Game nights going forward. You guys are always talking about missing after darks. I think game nights, Zoom game nights should be a thing.
Or even better, Jezzer, we could make that big mega episode like almost a Power Ranger version of After Dark.
Ooh.
A bunch of us together.
We'll talk about it later. We'll definitely keep you guys informed if you're following us on Facebook or part of our the Illuminerdi Facebook group. We'll keep you guys informed on what we're gonna what we're planning to put together. But Saturday's gonna be a fun one.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It helps you guys get the notifications when we go live, and we would greatly appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe here. Hit that little bell notification for everything. Also, we are also going to be doing the Ranger wrap up tomorrow. Josh, Elle, and Daniel will be holding that down. As well, following that will be Jay and Nate. If you're wrestling fans, tune in there, and they will be live tomorrow. But that's going to do it for the Ranger wrap-up. We appreciate you guys joining us. Remember, we are always watching. Besides, like Mighty Morphin or something.
I really liked the Dino Charge? Yeah. That's the one with Coda, right?
Yeah.
I really like him. I was like, I want to be a caveman, fight and be a good person.
Yoshi's a good guy.
Yeah.
And what about you? Because I heard that Jackie said she liked RPM. I guess.
Oh, RPM was really. Oh, that was actually.
That was
yeah,
my
that's really good
favorite
too.
as well.
Yeah.
RPM, and I
Yeah.
watched Dino Charge and Ninja Steel.
I think RPM was like the most like. I think the acting was really grounded and really real.
I love just the look of it, how it was filmed. It was a little darker, the sets.
Like post-apocalyptic.
Yes.
That red tint. I dug it too. It was like Mad Max almost.
Yeah.
There's a Green Ranger show.
Really, that's insane.
It is insane.
For
Insane.
real?
If there was a Green Ranger showing up, what would you want that Green Ranger's animal to be?